You are listening to Spirit Live, and we are the Cypher with Paul, Ollie, Joe, and Shiloh.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to
The Cypher.
The Cypher!
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to The Cypher. We got Ali Aziz, Joseph Lee, Paul Mathan, and Shiloh. Today is a very cold, it's a cold world out in Toronto, you know.
Super cold.
Minus 10.
How cold is it, Ollie?
Isn't it supposed to be minus 30?
I think
29.
I think in the morning it was
In the
Yeah.
morning for
20.
me it was minus 18. It's super cold.
Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah.
18? It
It's
was
so
minus
cold
29.
outside.
I'm not
already.
built for this weather. My ancestry doesn't allow me to take in this cold, the cold
Yeah.
temperature.
For real.
And today we got a very, very special guest, ITA homegrown member, Sydney.
Hey, what's up?
Yo.
Hi, Sydney.
How you doing,
Hey.
Sydney?
Hello.
I'm doing good.
Yo, and if you guys don't know, she has a new song out, Deja Vu, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So tell us about Deja Vu. When did it drop? Where is it on? What platforms can you find it on? What's it about?
It dropped today at 12 a.m., so it's super fresh. You can find it pretty much anywhere you ingest music. Spotify, Apple Music, all that. Anything you can think of, really.
Cool.
I wrote the song almost a year ago now, and I wrote it about, I met somebody and it felt like I had known them my whole life. Like I felt like we had this crazy connection and everything, I don't know, it was head ass, but everything that they were doing and talking to me and stuff, it just felt so familiar. So hence Deja Vu.
True.
Cool.
I like that. Okay. And before we dive, I guess we already kind of dived into
Sorry.
Shiloh's like, give me all the information right now.
And then, but I guess before we dive in,
Tell us about yourself.
Tell us about yourself.
Who's Sydney? Yeah, introduce yourself.
Who am I? I'm from Mississauga. I come to Ryerson,
Okay,
as
Mississauga,
we
okay.
all do.
I'm from Saga too. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm close to
I thought you were from Oakville.
Like on a board of Oakville. So I'm pretty
Okay,
much in
there's a
Saga.
difference.
That's
Pretty much in
crazy.
Saga.
Okay.
He doesn't want to claim Oakville anyways.
Oh, he's dissing, eh?
Yeah, I don't know. I've been making music, writing songs, playing instruments as long as I can remember. I remember when you're in grade 1 and everyone's like, what do you want to be when you're older? I'm like, a singer.
Sure,
It's
sure.
always just something
Okay.
I've wanted to do. And writing has always been something that I've done as coping to deal with whatever's going on in my life and
for
stuff.
sure.
But yeah, that's me, I guess.
Okay, so as an artist, right? You said you've been writing this song for about a year.
I didn't it didn't take that long. I wrote it last year, and then just the process of basically I wrote this song and we had it all recorded and produced, and then my friend's laptop got stolen.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
So then I was like, damn, I really like this song, it's not gonna come out now, blah, blah, blah. And then my other friend who's a producer, I brought him the beat, I want to say in November maybe, and I was like, listen, I really want to redo this song, is there any way we can kind of recreate it? It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but I just
sure.
want the essence of the song.
Mm-hmm.
So he did it, and then we recorded it, and then eventually now it's out.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta keep that hustle up, you know? One obstacle comes down, gotta keep that grind up, you know? Yeah. And so, just as an artist, what kind of, I guess as a kid too, what kind of got you into music?
I mean, both my parents are super into music. None of them can play music or sing. I'm kind of the anomaly, I guess.
Yeah.
But I've been absorbing music since I was before I could even realize what was going on.
Sure.
Music has always just been a center point in my life. So I think I just kind of started getting really into playing music. I used to do piano lessons and stuff, and then my mom used to play a bunch of classic rock and stuff, and she was like, oh, all these people will write their songs. And I was like, okay. And so I just started writing, and what turned into poems, or when I was super little, I would write songs to the tune of Hannah Montana tracks.
Yeah.
When I was 7.
Yeah.
And then eventually just kind of became something that I always did, because I always needed to get my feelings out, and I was a super shy kid, so it was just my
sure.
way of expressing myself.
For sure. I think I definitely experienced that as well. Just in R&B especially, it's just all emotions all the time, you know?
I honestly didn't get into R&B until I was in high school. I grew up listening to, I said, classic rock. My mom was super into alternative and stuff, and
Sure.
my dad was into hip hop and stuff like that. So I kind of just found R&B and everything, because my friends would be listen to this artist or listen to this, and I'd be like, oh, this is fire, what? But yeah, it just, the evolution of my music has grown with how I've been listening to music.
Sure. And yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, you can go.
And has your So like, are there any like R&B artists that you kind of find yourself attracting to?
Well, I think I'm super inspired by like Kehlani, SZA, Daniel Caesar, Miss Lauryn Hill. I'm trying to, I don't like. There's so many,
Yeah.
but I feel like I'm not necessarily like trying to emulate them, but I'm taking like pieces of different music that I've like grown up with. Like I think there's elements of like alternative in my music, and there's elements of R&B, and I definitely don't want to like confine myself to just one genre because that's not what music is anymore.
Yeah, definitely.
Precisely. A lot of our past guests and most artists, I feel like nowadays, as I mentioned all the time, is like, what is genre anymore? Like, you know, people are just genre bending, bringing soul, R&B, funk, hip hop, like whatever it is, and blending it all together. And I feel like that's great. Yeah,
that's why I feel like I'm so lucky to like be able to like make music in a time like this, because like I've always like enjoyed like the different like crossovers in music. So like it's super exciting.
Yeah. And like, how does you also talked about like writing as well? Like, how do you ever feel stressed about when you want to write a song but you can't get the right words out?
I find that all the songs that like I've like made and finished like have all come out super quick, because the ones that like aren't coming out, like I feel like I'm like, okay, like I'm just gonna move on. And like Deja Vu, I wrote, it wasn't that long. Like I wrote like the first chunk of the song like one day, and then I finished it like the next day. Like
oh wow.
And like my other songs, like I've written a couple, like it's taken like 10 minutes to write, like and they just like flow out of me. And I think that's just like because I've become more comfortable with like my emotions and like expressing myself. Whereas like if you ask me like in high school, like how long did it take, like it'd be a different story. You know what I mean?
For sure. And like I guess you're kind of like the Lil Wayne of R&B.
Lil Wayne.
Whoa. That's a big claim.
Yeah, because like Lil Wayne, the way he kind of creates his songs, he just goes off freestyling and kind of goes along with the beat, and I guess that's the same kind of. Sometimes
like I do have like voice memos on my phone that I've been playing like chords on a guitar, and then I just like kind of like make a song out of it. But it's never the same, which is why I love songwriting, because it's like sometimes like I have a beat presented to me and I like write on top of it, or I make a whole song and I bring it to like one of my producers and like listen, like let's do it.
Yeah.
But it's always different, so I don't know.
So like, do you kind of prefer like acoustic to like kind of
more produced,
I guess?
I don't think so. I think there's like a space for both of them in like my music.
Definitely.
But I like playing with them. Like most of my songs start as like acoustic songs, whether it's like guitar or piano, and then I love adding like different like elements, and like I'm in audio and RTA, so like I've gotten really into like Pro Tools and like producing and all that stuff, and that's something that I definitely want to explore more in the future. But
for sure.
I don't want to like jump too far into the future, but you know, like, what are your plans for the future? Like, do you want to kind of like stay in this musical path and kind of pursue this as like a full-time thing? Or do you see yourself, you know, maybe combining your interests with some other kind of stuff in this media industry? Like, what kind of goals you have in mind?
Well, I definitely want to do more music, and that's something that I definitely want to pursue. But I don't want to limit myself to like just one thing creatively, because I feel like, as we all do, like where there's so many different like pockets and everything that we go through. Like I'm really into like sound and film and stuff. Like those are like some of my favorite classes right now. So I would love to like work on like making music for film. But I don't know. I don't want to limit myself. Definitely like audio and like music. But like I think if something interests me, like next year I'm gonna do it. Like I'm not gonna hold myself back.
For sure, you know.
So right now, is singing kind of your main thing? Like when people come to you and say, "Oh, Sydney, what do you do?" Do you first say like I'm a singer, or is it kind of like a side hustle or a hobby, or how would you categorize your art, your practice as singing?
Honestly, I've had a hard time like saying that like, oh, I'm a musician. Like I feel like it's weird to say, just because I'm like, this is just something I've always done. Like it just seems so like ingrained in me. But yeah, I guess I claim like being a musician and stuff. But I also like, I don't know. It's so difficult to like put yourself in one box.
For sure, yeah. So when it comes to singing, would you say that you're more like a recording artist? So you just release maybe EPs, albums, etc., or do you do live shows? What is that looking like?
Well, I've been doing like a bunch of like small live shows, but I definitely like love performing. Like I want to especially do more now that I have like putting out like actual music. But yeah, both honestly.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and and going back to the whole recording artist, do you kind of aspire to be signed, or do you want to be more of like a freestanding artist who doesn't have?
Yeah, independent or signed? That's the big question for like all artists.
It's a difficult question because
Yeah.
I see benefits in both.
Yeah, yeah.
And like me and Danny have been doing this whole thing like by ourselves, and we're both like, oh my god, like it'd be nice to like have more of a team, but I think that'll come eventually. But
For sure, yeah.
I don't know. I think it's something that I think about a lot. Like, what's the benefit of each?
Yeah.
Right. And even like what's the path in being an artist and singing, you know, aside from having to consider yourself as an independent artist or being signed, like what that even looks like how you're making money, monetizing your
Yeah.
singing. Like there's so
yeah.
many angles you can come at it.
Yeah,
from,
it's so difficult. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll see. Right
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
just
for sure.
we'll see. I don't know. It's so
Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah, it is. It's really hard to project that far into the future
Yeah.
as well.
So like going back to how you kind of talked about your taste in music has kind of changed. Do you think I guess your sound has also changed as well, right?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think like I don't listen to one genre like
yeah.
when I like am listening to music. So I don't think I'll ever create just one like specific genre. Like I'm
sure.
calling myself like alternative R&B right now, but like
Okay.
that could very well change.
For sure, yeah.
But it just like I'm just chasing like whatever sounds and like whatever like vibes that like I hate that word, but whatever like I can like kind of create and what feels good to me. So if I like I have songs that are more like that like bedroom pop type of like vibe.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like what feels good in the studio.
For sure.
So who's on your playlist right now? Who inspires you
I was
most?
just checking out your Spotify.
Yeah. Who inspires you right now? Do you have like a top? I mean, it's really hard to obviously choose if you're into so many genres, but like a top 5 people that you look up to or inspire your sound or in any way, shape, or form.
Well, I love Kehlani. I've loved her forever. She's incredible.
She's great. Yeah.
I really like Harry Styles. I think his music is super cool. I don't like. I even like find inspiration in like more like hip hop, like trap, like because I
Yeah.
feel like 808s are just like
yeah.
everybody uses them even in pop music.
Yeah.
So just like I don't know, like if you look through my playlist,
Yeah,
like
I see
it's
a
just
lot
like
of Travis.
Yeah, there's, like,
Drake in there, Future.
It's like a mashup.
It's a like a mashup, yeah.
yeah, and it's just like like I said, like there's not one genre that like completely like categorizes me
Yeah,
at
for
all,
sure.
but like I don't know. I think like we said how like everything's becoming like no genre. I also think it's like super based on like your mood.
Yeah.
Like people like
Yeah,
listen to like
exactly.
hip hop and trap and whatever, like if they're at the gym, or like more chill stuff if they're like on their like Love 'Em On shit. Like you know what I mean? Like it's just like it depends, but
True.
I don't know. Kehlani, Harry Styles, Drake, obviously.
Drake, yeah.
Can't not be from here and say that. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah.
bunch.
I
What
see
do you
it
think
too.
about The Weeknd?
Oh,
I like The
Weeknd.
Weeknd a lot
The
too.
Weeknd.
Yeah, yeah.
I know you're worth it. All that sounds the exact
Hell
same.
yes.
Shall we going off, eh?
Yeah, and so like as you introduce yourself as an artist, has that changed people's perceptions of you?
I guess so. I've found honestly that like it really depends. Like some people like really like understand me and like respect me like in more of like a professional setting, and then there's a lot of people that still look at me like I'm just like
Yeah.
some kid that's like making music. So I think definitely like I'm just like looking for people that kind of like understand and respect that like this I'm being serious about this.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's really changed like my friends' view of me or anything.
True. Yeah. I guess that would just be more so like the strangers that you meet along
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that path, you know.
Some people are just like oh cool, and other people like listen to my music and they're like, oh damn, like you're being serious. Like it's the same sort of thing. I
For
don't know.
sure. Let's see.
I have a question. So how have you been navigating like the Toronto music scene? Because the Toronto music scene's very isolated from every other, like, because we're kind of like the epicenter of Canada in a sense. You know what I mean? Like when people think music, they come to Toronto first if they're thinking of the Canadian music scene. So how have you navigated the Toronto music scene in terms of, I noticed you said you played live shows, so like booking live shows, performing around, building a community around yourself as a singer?
Well, I feel like I've just like kind of like dipped my toe into like the Toronto music scene. Like I feel like in Mississauga I have like a lot more like connects with like different like artist groups. But literally just like of late I've been like I did one Toronto show, but definitely
So more,
more
so more Mississauga based.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
okay.
because like that's how I like I
Right,
know
right.
all of those people there, but it sucks because like no one claims like Saga or
Yeah.
Brampton or anything. So like it's
What
like
is that? Where even that is that?
Exactly.
Saga Brampton, like.
So but yeah, I definitely want to get more into like Toronto and stuff because like that's where like everyone is, like you said.
Yeah.
For sure. Through those connections, do you see yourself as more of like an introvert or an extrovert in that sense?
I guess I honestly like it's both. I don't know. I definitely used to be so shy, but like when I tell people I'm like I'm an introvert, they're like, no, you're not. Like,
Yeah.
so I guess an extrovert. Like
Yeah.
I have no problem talking to people at those kind of shows and like
sure.
discussing things.
Yeah,
So
because like it really is all about like talking to people
Mhm,
most of the time.
definitely.
Because like I remember when we went to Tracy K's event.
Shout out
Yeah.
Tracy K.
Yeah, her whole band was like, like that band had definite chemistry
For sure,
altogether,
bro,
you
for
know?
They're
sure.
jamming.
And then eventually we're gonna have Kai on the show, you know.
Next week, right? Or 2 weeks after. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll hit him
We'll,
up.
we'll see.
We'll see. You know?
You guys are
Like,
discussing
I know.
future shows. It's fine. It's
but
fine.
but I think that's definitely like a key part of like just making connections in general in media, you know. 'Cause the media,
The creative space, making
Yeah.
connections is like the biggest.
yeah. 'cause
Yeah.
then, like,
Actually, in any space, I'd say having connections is definitely helpful.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think media in general,
Oh, yeah.
more so, is like
For sure.
it is a kind of a small world in
Definitely.
that sense of like everyone knows who's who and who's coming up next, and you know,
Yeah. Well, Joe and I were just talking about that, about having connections in the music industry.
Yeah, for sure.
And like in the music business side and being an artist yourself, it's like it kind of is based on connections. Like, you
Yeah.
know, you have artists that haven't really been grinding for that long and they're getting big shows and whatnot because they have like a good booking agent or a good person that's in the industry that they're connected
Yeah,
to. So
for sure,
definitely based on connections and who's in your network.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. And so like you talk about how you're a musician as well. Like how many instruments do you play?
I play guitar, piano, ukulele. I feel like played like flute in high school. I'm gonna
Okay.
claim
Oh.
that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It counts.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I've been playing those for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like taught myself guitar and ukulele.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's beneficial to have more like knowledge about musical types of like musical instruments, whereas like, you know, somebody with no musical kind of background, like do you think there's a advantage to that, or?
I guess in a way, like if you're especially like interested in like writing, like, and you wanted to kind of like I feel like I have a lot of control over like my writing process because
Yeah.
I'm able to like play different instruments. But I don't think it's like necessarily advantageous like versus like something else. But
Mhm.
I think it works for me and I think it works for a lot of people. But if you don't, do your thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Kind of like living in the media life. Had that changed your overall lifestyle as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I said, like I've become a lot more like extroverted because like I've realized like I need to, like we said, I need to force myself to make
Mhm.
connections with people
Yeah.
and like kind of like take up space in a
Mhm.
room and like not just like let people walk by me, you know
Oh,
what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
So yeah, it's definitely changed the way I look at things and just like having like the technical background as well as like the more creative side, like I
Mhm.
think it's like blended really well.
For sure.
Mhm.
And like has that kind of affected, I guess in some sense, your creative taste as well? Like hearing all these like different, I mean, I know you talked about adding the different pieces from these different artists. Has that overall changed your kind of sound as well, or your kind of direction?
Like has like media like changed?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, just like being, because you're not only a music artist, but you're also like part of like this kind of RTA media. You know, you
Mhm.
see all these different creatives doing their thing. Had that also like affected your music in that sense?
I don't know if it's affected it, but it's made me more aware of things. Like I find like when I'm like mixing stuff for school, I make the like if I'm doing vocals, I make it like super reverby, like it's like
Oh,
a
yeah.
70s song, which is like what I grew up listening to.
Mhm.
So like those like really bad mics, but I like turn up the reverb like 100% because I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, it sounds so nice.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's like I've realized that like it's made me realize how much like my music taste has influenced like how I create.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, Cindy, you're in media production,
Mhm.
right? So, what made you choose media production? Is it kind of like wanting to combine? Because I'm in new media, so I don't
Yeah,
really know
me
much about
too.
media production. So, media production is what, more like filmmaking and like camera work? I should know this, but
So basically, first year you kind of get like a taste of everything, like, and you guys were in those classes
Yeah,
last year
yeah.
too, right? So like you get like audio, digital media, single cam, multicam, and like that's the reason I was so drawn to it because I really loved creating. So I just like wanted to see like where I fit the best,
Mhm.
and then in second year you can like concentrate on like whatever. So I did audio because that was my favorite
Right, for
class last
sure.
year.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
then obviously because of music and stuff.
for
but-
sure.
Yeah.
So, I guess you can even tie in the video skills as well into music, I guess, for future like music videos and whatnot.
Yeah,
it's like a great
definitely.
field to be in because it's so like interconnected, music and media
Mhm.
production.
Yeah,
Um,
like I said, like I like putting on like those different hats like has been like so like important to me. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's been super cool to like have that experience.
For sure.
Cool. So like, could you ever see yourself being in a music group, like kind of I forgot, or like kind of like a Boys to Men, or like?
Do you mean like a girl band or a boy band?
Yeah, like
Harmony?
One
that.
Direction.
Oh,
Like One Direction. type.
Harmony, is that what their name was?
Fifth
Fifth
Harmony.
Harmony.
Yeah,
Fifth
yeah.
Harmony.
Yo, I used to
Harmony.
love them in grade 9. Anyways, I mean, I've like kind of already like presented myself to the world as a solo artist, but
Mhm.
like if something came up, like I don't know, like
Yeah.
I haven't really thought about it to be honest, but like maybe
Yeah.
I'm never say never, you know.
Sure, never say never. Justin Bieber, you know,
Yeah.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's actually been a lot of like great Canadian artists that have like really popped off in the
Yeah.
kind of overall past decade, I guess now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Justin Bieber, The Weeknd, Drake.
Daniel
Tory
Caesar.
Lanez.
Yeah, Daniel.
There's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
a lot of people. Like,
A lot. Like 6?
I mean,
I'm
yeah,
dead.
I mean,
It's interesting.
It's more than before.
For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
I like it's kind of interesting. Do you think let me see. Do you think the Toronto music scene has evolved in that kind of sense? Like more people are just like finding different ways of like kind of maneuvering around.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that's like a huge like thing with like how like radio stations have to play Canadian content.
Mhm.
Like that's like definitely helped like
Oh yeah, for sure.
Canada in general and like Toronto, like even like more pop like Shawn Mendes or like Alessia Cara like
yeah.
type of
Yeah,
thing. You know what I
forgot
mean?
about
Like
them.
Yeah.
yeah. But like they're like huge like
Mhm.
across the world and like
Yeah.
they're from here, which is like crazy.
Yeah.
Like Alessia Cara's from Brampton.
Yeah,
Like
Brampton,
she was
yeah.
literally in my like school district.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
there was like
Oh,
posters
wow.
of her like on like it was
Oh,
crazy.
dang.
But
Oh,
yeah,
dang.
like I think
Yeah.
it's so cool that like people that you grew up like
Mhm.
30 minutes away from
Yeah.
like are like these crazy like international
sure.
stars.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Adds inspiration to the whole grind, I guess, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I think as much as I've always wanted to do this, it's kind of like hard to picture like me from like the GTA, like why
Oh,
does
yeah.
anyone want to listen to me
Yeah,
type
yeah.
of
Yeah.
thing. But like seeing like people like even Drake was super inspirational to me in
Mhm.
high school because like if I'm not making like Drake type music, like you can't deny like the trajectory of his like career. Just
Yeah.
like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he put the 6 on the map. Like
Oh, that's the 6 is his thing. Or actually, no, wasn't it one of his producers? Someone else. But yeah,
Anyways, we won't
basically
talk
his
about
thing.
it.
Yeah. He's like the biggest. I was actually searching up artist networks a few days ago, and he has like the highest. I think Lil Wayne might be after him. Like Lil Wayne used to have the highest net worth
Of all
Now
artists?
Yeah, of all like rappers or whatever. Now
Okay.
it's Drake. Like Drake.
Really?
Yeah,
Isn't it
Drake.
Jay-Z?
Jay-Z
I thought it was
probably.
Or
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z? Okay, maybe, but Drake, he's
I mean,
up there, like
Jay-Z's
top
up
5.
there, yeah, for
so
sure.
it's like crazy though, because I think people underestimate him because like, oh yeah, he's just the Toronto rapper from Toronto, but he's
Balling.
He's been doing
network-wise?
he's
Yeah.
been doing this like for a while.
Yeah, you
Like-
kind of underestimate it.
like a
which
whole
is-
decade pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
And people are putting them. I mean, he's been big for a while, so it's weird me saying this, but people are putting him beside like legendary rappers like Jay-Z, Kanye. Like he's in that tier. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
For sure.
definitely.
yeah. And he's also tapping into like what weed industry, real estate. Like he's
Yeah,
just everywhere. You know,
yeah,
kind of like
Champagne
Jay-Z.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
And I think that's like one of the best ways of like just spreading your popularity as well as your lifeline as an artist as well. You know, you kind of spread out into different areas, just like you said about like doing film as well.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of adds to the whole repertoire. You know,
Mm-hmm.
repertoire,
Yeah,
I like that
definitely.
word.
it's good to be well rounded. I feel
I
like
mean,
in general.
For sure.
Definitely. No matter like what
What you're
field
doing,
in.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
A lot of people are actually doing that because it's like a brand thing. Like you brand yourself
Mhm.
and you can do literally anything.
For sure.
I always mentioned this, but I watch like a lot of Gary Vee and stuff.
Who's that?
You don't know Gary Vee?
No. Who's
my
Gary
gosh.
Vee?
You don't know Gary Vee?
He's like a businessman, entrepreneur, motivational speaker.
He's like
What does he look
crazy
like?
on
Hell
TikTok.
no.
What does he look like?
Is he black?
No, he's not black.
Oh, okay.
He's Jewish.
Oh.
Yeah.
okay.
That's like the best way I can
Gary
explain
Vee,
it.
I gotta search this.
Like he talks a lot about like how if you can brand yourself, you can literally do anything.
Yeah.
A lot of people will stay in music, but once you get big enough, you can start putting on merchandise. You can
Yeah.
start
For
going
sure.
into different industries just because of the person who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And
If-
sorry, continue what you're saying.
and if you look at it like maybe like 10 years ago, people were like mainly focusing on like using the internet. I love the internet, by the way.
Do you mean the band the internet?
Huh?
Do you mean
Like-
the band the internet?
No, I don't know about that
Okay,
one. I'm just
sorry.
talking about like on the internet, people
Like
would
the internet in
sort of
general.
disguise themselves as someone else.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like you're trying to just show who you actually are. You can be fake, but whatever.
Mhm.
People can actually like know like more about you now.
Yeah.
Is that a
And-
good thing or a bad thing though? Because a lot of artists are like, I'm a human, like get out of my, you know what I mean? Like people are
Yeah.
too in tune with.
I mean,
their-
it could be both, but I feel like in terms of branding yourself, it's much easier now.
Right, for sure.
Right? Like
Yeah.
instead of posting music every single time, you can post a snap of your cat and like
That's
a
true.
bunch of cat people will be like, "Oh my god, I love this person. I'm going to
Right,
listen to
right,
music,"
right.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
Just like that.
And then
sure.
also picking up of how you mentioned like people, you know, merch. I mean, that's been a thing forever. But
Yeah, that's been a thing.
Other things that you can put your brand on or whatever, or stamp your brand on is like you're making money off of all that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's like the source of revenue for most artists is off that. Not even it's live shows, but not even what you released. Like you
Yeah.
make nothing off of that. It's all off of the other stuff that
Oh,
you
yeah.
branded.
It's
the
like
tours and all that.
album sales. Like
Yeah,
now
not
streaming.
even album. Yeah, exactly.
Streaming came in.
It's not
right?
even what is that? Yeah.
Like
So
it's not like a physical album. Like obviously physical albums, they would be costing more, and you need more streams to make up for that
Exactly.
loss, right?
aside from vinyl has become trendy though. Well, it's
that's-
cyclical, but you know.
Yeah, people
but-
like
so
to
what are your
collect them.
so in terms of you, the whole like streams? Because a lot of artists, you're making dirt like off of streams. Like you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
couple,
yeah.
not even a cent for. But what are your stream numbers looking like, or are you kind of still entering that space?
Well, like literally, like the song came out like
Right,
last
that's
night.
true. Right. Yeah, of course.
Fingers crossed though,
Mhm,
but
yeah.
I don't have high expectations
For
in
sure,
regards
yeah.
to money because like you said, like you make so little money off
Nothing.
of one stream,
Yeah.
like barely, not even a cent.
Yeah, no,
So
it's ridiculous.
yeah, I don't know. Like I definitely am interested in like doing like more like live shows and stuff, just
Mm-hmm.
like to see because like it'd be nice to kind of like show my mom, be like, you know, I can,
Yeah.
I can pay
Yeah.
for
Be
stuff.
proud of you and
Yeah.
If
So-
there's
Go
oh,
ahead.
No,
Go
you
ahead.
can go. You can go.
No, it's okay. I've been talking about it.
Yeah, so if there's I know you said like you wanna like get into more like live shows, but if there's one artist that you can make a single with, any artist in any genre, who would it be?
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive? Yeah,
Dead or alive.
That's
Damn,
good.
that's
a good one.
crazy.
Just made the pool a lot larger.
Yeah, damn. I love Anderson .Paak. Like
He's
love.
great.
Okay,
Thank
yeah.
you. I've never. No one has come on the show and been like Anderson .Paak.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's great.
I love
yeah.
him so much. Like I saw his live show and it like changed my life. Like
Oh,
I-
yeah.
not that sounds so annoying, but like I just was like in awe of him. Like he's an incredible performer and like musician, everything. But him or like for the Free Nationals would be super sick. Their album was really good.
I think
which
you're
is,
coming
like-
to Toronto soon too.
Yeah, I try to get tickets, but anyways. But yeah, I think he makes incredible music and his band makes incredible music. So definitely them. Yeah, I don't know. I could go on for like
Honestly,
30
that's a
minutes about
question
this.
to dwell on. Yeah, it's a loaded question.
Yeah.
So so you just released your single 12 a.m.
Yeah.
What is your marketing strategy looking like to get people listening?
12 p.m. Sorry,
huh?
12 p.m.
Oh damn.
No, 12
No,
Oh,
12 a.m.
12 a.m.
12 a.m.
Like,
Last midnight.
Today,
Yeah,
like 12 a.m.
midnight
today.
Midnight.
Like it
Oh,
dropped
that came
today.
at noon. Never mind. Sorry.
I lost my train of thought. What was
Sorry,
I saying?
um,
Yeah, your
yeah.
marketing strategy. Because it's one thing to release, but to actually get people to come and listen to it and whatnot. So
Yeah.
what's your
My
strategy?
marketing strategy.
Or like I guess your plan or what you see, your vision for kind of putting out the song.
Well, we've just been like spamming people to like post it and stuff, and like, trying to think. I don't like just make
Just,
people
like,
aware
sharing
that
it.
it was coming out and like
For
ask
sure.
people to share it. And like last night, it's like if they,
TikToks.
yeah,
TikToks?
TikToks.
TikTok
TikToks.
is dominant. I don't use TikTok because it's just very like it's just corny.
Did
and
you say
cringe.
it's dominant?
It's dominant? Yeah, labels are
Yeah,
making
that's-
contracts with TikTok
Oh,
for music. Yeah,
I feel
'cause-
like it's coming up, but
Yeah,
oh,
I
it's
think
one of the dominant ones. Yeah,
I
So-
think just because it's so new and like people like, I don't think like the music industry, like the classic music industry, has really like recognized like how big of like an impact it makes on like
Oh, yeah.
streaming and stuff.
yeah.
Like my friend's song blew up, like, and like he's now featured on all these like articles and stuff. So definitely that. I don't know. There's a lot, lots of stuff. You
For
could
sure.
speak better too. It's
Hop
fine.
on the mic.
Get him on a mic.
Hop on the mic.
He can't hear himself, can he? Or I mean, obviously he can hear
let me
himself.
talk. Yeah.
What am I saying?
My marketing scheme, strategy.
I'll give him
So
your
for
headphones.
Sunny's marketing scheme, it was a lot of. Am I good?
Yeah, you're good.
It was a lot of like.
Wait, hold on. You got it.
Just check if it's recording.
My name's
Here's
Danny.
Mike.
I'm your manager.
It's on Ali's mic.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
I do
Okay.
stuff.
Cool.
That's right.
Yeah, you're helping me out.
So a lot of her strategy was like, yes, outreaching out to people, telling them about the song, but it was also like getting people to engage with their Spotify account. So making a playlist so people can listen to, so they can feel like they're interacting with her more. doing TikToks. Like we have people who are making TikToks to this song because TikToks do now count as streams,
Right.
and it's one of the easiest ways to blow up nowadays.
Yeah.
We're also on our way to start getting ready for a music video, and yeah,
That's budget wise. That's money.
Factors are best friend right now.
Yeah,
right.
definitely.
Yeah.
Wait, is your song on TikTok right now?
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
It's on
Okay,
Spotify
cool,
too.
yeah.
I'll make one. I'll make one. this weekend.
Cypher TikTok. Yeah.
Make one and tag it Deja Vu challenge.
You already know, boss. You already know.
That's gonna
So
blow
is
up.
this a team or Ollie doing, or you can pass on? So is this like what's his role in your team? Like
He's
Not-
like my manager technically.
oh,
like
gotcha. Okay.
it's just like weird to say because we're friends, but
Right.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's like I literally like we started what happened? Oh, okay. I'm like so. Basically, I went in for one of his like radio shows and like I played on one of my songs and he's like, "Yo, let me manage you," and like I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Cool, yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah. I'm always curious as to how that even goes down because I know so many artists and they have managers and it's like, where'd you like how like you
How'd
know what I
you
mean?
meet?
I don't.
Yeah.
Even,
Yeah.
I guess it depends on the circumstance.
And,
but-
and if you guys need a music director, I got you. You know.
you need
Yeah.
a publicity and a booking agent. You know.
Bet.
Yeah, but like, I think the same thing as always, just the connection and who you decide to, just being out there, just going outside of your bubble. You know, your comfortability
comfort zone.
Comfort zone. That's what you're
At
looking
the
for.
whole
Comfort
whole
zone.
zone, the whole 9, the whole yard.
Ollie's just trying
Ollie,
to
are
play.
you alright
Yes.
today?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
wondering.
good, I'm good,
Just
man.
playing around with the words. Like,
Valentine's
Cold-
Day
it's cold
got
day.
you a little
he's in his
tipsy.
feelings. Just whatever.
Yeah.
Just let him.
I'm dead.
Oh, chill out, bro. Chill out.
If you had to make a song about your life, what would you title it as?
Well, that's a good question.
Damn, that's crazy.
Because we got like movies like All Eyes on Me, you know, Straight Outta Compton, you know, Get Rich or Die Trying. Those are like.
I have another
The
song.
evolution of hip hop. Your favorite? No,
Evolution of Hip Hop is
Sorry,
my
Ad.
my documentary on
Oh my
Netflix,
God.
you know.
You've been mentioning that every
I
week.
recommend-
That's why I had
I
to.
recommend everyone to watch that.
Are you sponsored by that
We need
documentary?
a sponsorship.
You might as well be.
I'll be sponsored by it. You know?
Yeah? Okay.
Train goals, you know.
Anyway,
But,
sorry for
yeah.
sidetracking.
Damn.
That's a loaded question.
That's crazy. Like I'm like trying to like think, like condense it all. Not to like rip off Georgia Smith, but like Lost and Found. Like
Sure. Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
I feel like that's like been like the last like 5 years of my life.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Wait, like, why Lost and Found? What does that mean to your?
I think just like all of us know, like when you're going like this age, you're just like trying to figure yourself out,
For sure.
and then like you know the pressures of like school life, finances. You get me? Like it's just
Yeah,
like
it's a
it's a
lot.
lot. And
Yeah.
I think I've just like gone like back and forth and just like feeling okay with myself, and then being like I don't even know what's going on to be honest. But I
Yeah.
feel like I'm at a point where it's like yeah, we're good.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
And we're also still very young, so
Exactly.
It's like I feel like a natural passageway to be lost and found
sure.
and then lost. You know.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
You know,
and if we move on to the next segment, and we will find in the genius segment.
Are you a genius? Genius.
Shout out your Instagram. By the
Oh
way.
yeah, my Instagram's at maybe I'm Sydney. So literally exactly
We
how
can
you think
add
it's
to the
spelled.
whole Lost and Found thing.
Yeah, yeah. Just didn't want my full name on there. You
Yeah. No, fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Okay.
my Instagram
Cool.
and everything else.
And follow us on Instagram at CypherPod and our individual Instagrams and Spotify.
This is reminding me of like the weekend, his structure of songs. You know you're worth it, and it has that beat. This is what that's reminding me of. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I wanted to say that.
Yeah, I think I definitely.
Like the beat, the
Tempo, the structure.
Yeah.
So talk about the process of this song, like with the production. I know you said you wrote it in a day, but talk about like who you worked with and what kind of experience was it?
Well, basically, my friend who I've known since I was 12 produced it. We were in his like bedroom studio, and like he was like messing around making this beat, and I was like, oh, this is like super sick. I was like, send this to me, because I was like bothering him to like send me as much things as possible. And then I got home, and then I was like playing with it, and I was like, oh, I don't know. And then like I met said person, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. So I started writing it. Went back in the studio with him and recorded it. And then it existed, and I was like, okay, cool.
For sure, yeah.
Sounds
Hey, what's the
awesome.
meaning behind the song? Is there any meaning?
Yeah, like just because when I met this person, like kind of how I said earlier, I met this person and just felt like I'd known them my entire life, like on some like love at first sight, like. But yeah, I just like I felt really connected to them, and it felt like super familiar and like right. So then I wrote this song, and just like felt like deja vu, like I'd already seen them before.
Yeah. Sure.
Cool. I like it.
Thanks.
It's fire. 'Tis fire.
Yeah, I was listening to it on the way here, and I had it like on loop. Like I really enjoyed it as well.
Thank
so
you. That means a lot.
I like that.
I saw that. I saw that you only had this was your debut song, right? Do you sort of have like a structure when you want to release a new single, or are you gonna? Is this gonna be tied into an EP or an
Is
album?
there a schedule kind of thing?
Yeah, like
No.
yeah.
Not right now. I do have like a lot of songs that just like
Yeah.
are sitting with me. But I would just kind of like want to put this one out and kind of play with it, you know, do like a music video, do the whole like 9 yards. But yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure I'll eventually drop like an EP maybe later this
Oh, yeah.
year,
Yeah.
something like that. But for
Cool.
now, this is it.
But you have like no plans to tie this into an EP right now. This is just like sort of like here I am, like this is me.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little something. I don't know. Can't drop it all of it right now.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll move on to the Cypher. Yeah, and all of these beats are for sale. So if you
Are they from who?
feel like you
North
vibe,
KMQ, right?
Oh yeah!
North
Shout out.
KMQ.
What's his name? Quinn.
Quinn.
Quinn's the best. Like
Thanks,
Quinn's
Quinn.
just been coming
Cute.
through with the beats.
We should get like a Quinn like stinger like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta do his
that's
like
true.
producer tag.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I think he has it in one of his beats here. But all these beats are for sale. So if you find a beat that you like, if you vibe with it, you know.
Oh, Quinn.
So
Then-
this episode's been sponsored by Quinn, right?
No.
No?
Quinn and Hip Hop Evolution.
Yeah.
Hip Hop Evolution. Still
All
haven't
right.
watched that.
Can I play Summer Walks?
Okay.
Ooh, is this Summer Walker?
Let's try and warm things up on this cold day.
Yeah. It's a cold day. It's
Oh, you
cold,
wanna turn the light
world.
off?
Hmm?
You want to turn the light off? It's like
The
more
light off?
vibey. Yeah,
I don't know.
it's nice, bro.
Jill wants to vibe.
I'd like to do a song for those of you who take LSD.
I'm trying to see.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Maybe, baby, why can't you be my baby? Maybe. No. You know how I feel. I'm wondering at this point if you know I'm real. You always complaining, but I'm just saying I could be your baby, maybe. Maybe, baby. Why can't you be my baby? Maybe. No.
Cool.
That was great.
That was great.
Awesome. Amazing.
That was great. The same thing Shah was talking about, the whole weekend kind of
The weekend.
kind of structure that you have in your voice. I definitely like the The
I've
whole.
literally
whole-
never
Never
heard
heard
that.
that
That's so
voice. Oh, yeah.
crazy.
It wasn't even it's not even the singing the what do you call it? You know when rappers they have a certain flow? Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
even the
Flow.
flow. It's like the song, like the whole just I don't know, maybe the way you produced it or mastered it, the instrumental coupled, it just sounds I don't know. That's yeah. It sounds like
It's neat.
It's neat. It's neat.
Real neat, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Make that into a stinger. It's neat.
Yeah.
Soundbite, anyways.
Yeah. And I remember I talked to Joe about this before, like in the first year, when we were thinking about doing the Cypher. That I remember. Do you remember this?
What are
remember
you
what?
talking about right now?
You haven't
Like, it
mentioned the
was
event.
in- it was
You
in,
like you remember
um,
this? That thing.
Yeah.
That day.
Like I remember we talked about this in, I think it was the sound production lecture, when I think you were.
Yeah.
Yes,
what?
I sang in the sound production
Oh.
lecture. I sang "Hey Ya." Was
Oh,
it?
wait, I think I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah, it was me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was me.
Oh, that was you? That was me
Oh,
still.
shit.
Yeah,
Danny,
you
you're a
remember?
mess.
shit.
Yeah.
That was you.
Yeah, yo,
I was
'cause
there.
I remember it too, because I talked
Oh,
about like,
I'm shocked right now.
yeah, because I remember I was like, yo, Sydney definitely needs to be
I
on
don't
the
even remember,
Cypher
damn.
eventually.
Oh,
Anything for
shit.
Michael Murphy. Anything.
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause I was like to Joe, like, yo, she's gonna be on the Cypher, like, soon time.
And
No.
a year later, you're here, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause,
Life
like,
comes at you fast.
Yeah, speak it into existence.
yeah, man, you know.
We gotta support Canadian artists, musicians, creatives, entrepreneurs, investors,
you know?
everyone.
Period.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in the media industry, because we're such a small community, and I feel like, especially the music scene, even smaller. So yeah, thanks for coming on. It was great
Thanks for
having
having me.
You wanna
Great
thank-
meeting
Thank
you
you.
for sure.
All
yeah.
of the audience, I want to thank Danny again for linking up.
Hopping on the
And-
mic for 0.2 seconds.
Yeah, and we want to thank you guys again. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, whether
Even
you're
the-
cuffed or not cuffed.
You know, even if you don't got someone, you got us.
Be your own someone.
You know?
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
gonna be
Yeah,
me.
be your own. You know, you gotta build yourself before you get someone else. You know.
Or you could build together though. That's
Well,
That's true.
anyways.
depends on your taste.
And we will catch you on the next episode of The Cypher. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.